Welcome back, everyone, for Game 2 of the Metroid Planets Finals. What a Game 1. That was remarkable. But let's see if Skyhawk can equalize and give y'all even more exciting this evening. I'm Mven Crows. Thank you for letting me join you for Game 2, my friend.
The pleasure's all mine, my friend.
Yeah, I believe we have some different room substitutions going on. While we're waiting for the runners to catch up, what are some of the things we're going to be looking out for tonight?
Well, on game 2, Brinstar is being replaced by Hemolith, Norfair is replaced by Freeze Flame, wow. Kraid is replaced by the Pyron Waste, and Torian is replaced by Eigenfos.
Well, sounds like for one thing, that Varia that neither runner collected Game 1, you might want to find that with some of these area substitutions.
Yeah, or Crystal Core at this point. So it's interesting. I was saying at the beginning of last race, we're starting Hemolith.
Cool.
That is our Brinstar. That's our second Brinstar start of the night.
I hope we see some of my favorite... Yeah, I love all the robots in Hemolith. I love it when you actually have to interact with these little gonk droids to get around, and I'm hoping that we get to see that in a... Yeah, like, there we go. Having to make the jump off of that if you want to go right. Not that we're going right, but I love these cute little things, and I love any room that actually takes advantage of them.
Yeah. They're really cute and fun, and, well, unless they get in the way, and then it's just aggravating. Alright. MST doing some digging over there in that first room.
Now we do see that there is an E-Tank at our starting landing site, if we ever get the height to actually reach it. Another item taunting MST on the way left here. Stop just showing us the items and actually give us some of them.
It's true. Well, Skyhawk did a little searching on the right side before going left, it seems.
Central conveyor here.
Yep.
Another very fun room. Don't mess up. Yeah. Oh, there's the drop.
Right? You know,
I do
gotta
love
a room that really conveys a sense of humor.
Yeah, you do. I was going to say that I do love that with planets, you know, a lot of the platforming may seem a little simplistic given a lot of the cool things that, you know, later Metroids add. So whenever a room designer really puts the onus on you to be precise, I like seeing our, you know, best players, according to this tournament's outcome, have to actually manage that.
Yeah, agreed. All right, we're getting a route divergence in this room. Oh, okay, maybe not. Skyhawk's going back.
You have been deceived. Early elevator, not a single item found. Still sitting at 0%. Where is it taking us?
Ooh, into the Pyron Waste, which I don't think MST is going to be able to get too far without running into some heated content.
Yeah, frequently heated rooms in here. We have no E-tanks. So if you see one, you better hope it's small and you can get to the other side in a hurry. But these missile doors look like they're going to be blocking any progression whatsoever. Where is our opener?
Oh, that's a good question, because, yeah, no missiles. Jeez. How many doors and not a single missile to use on them?
Red door. So many of them. All right, other side. What are we going to find?
You know, sometimes when runners come across that with no missiles, they are like, I see a red door and I want to paint it black.
What would you need to open a black gate in this game? What weapon would you demand for that?
I would say turn on Phazon Core. That'd be cool if Phazon could be pathed or something as like a Phazon beam.
Oh, yeah, or give additional functionality to the cores as a logical mechanic. That would be cute.
Yeah. Or Dark Beam, yeah.
Nothing doing in Pyron, by the way, so we're completely blocked off.
Back to Hemolith for both of our players. And this is starting off just like the last match, where both of our players are, like, kind of in the same... Wow, did they both die at the same time?
They're even in sync with their deaths. What? Truly impressive. Kind of a little nasty room there for not, like, when you don't have any health yet, to ride you right into one of the insect hives.
Yeah.
That was shockingly nasty. Like, you don't think of those as a threat, but it caught both of our runners.
Right? And both of them are going to be dealing with the same issue here. Wow, this is looking like an early speed bump. Skyhawk. Oh. Turns out just you need to get over that hive in order to get an energy tank to get a little bit more life.
Yeah, nice. You could see MST approaching that fight the second time around with a little more caution. You know, let me make sure to kill the tiny flies, keep my health up, and big ol' reward right out the gate.
Yeah, it's almost like he went over there and it's like, yo, that death didn't fly.
God.
I don't know why they let me on comms, but...
I mean... You're probably about to make me break out in hives too with some of these, so let me take my Benadryl and we'll revisit the situation.
Sounds good. And MST's heading into the cactus room here. Oh, and did Skyhawk get over that? Yeah, without getting the E-tank, it seems. Or did Skyhawk double back? I think Skyhawk.
Yeah, Skyhawk double backed and chose a different route, so we had that sync momentarily, but now big divergence already.
We'll see what this divergence leads to for both of our runners, because... Oh, some missiles. That's going to help MST open some of those doors.
Again, the patience in that room, because those are not logical yet, but waited on the Gamer to get up there, got the D-boost, and actually has a means of opening some of those doors back in Pyron now.
Right? Like, honestly, both of our runners have been doing great damage boosts tonight. I'm sure you saw that first seed.
Oh yeah, excellent means of getting just that little extra loot early on. Just wait for the enemy to get in the right spot. Of course, that's the vertical D-boost. Also saw plenty of them using the extra momentum from colliding with an enemy mid-jump, especially given how early Space Jump was. Both of them got to accelerate very nicely in some of these larger rooms, taking advantage of that. Love to see that skill in play.
Yep. And MST fighting the Freezy Flame Galaxy, or what's known as Freeze Flame.
And another... I mean, this E-Tank's going to do... Well, no, we didn't actually go that way. Never mind. Just found the elevator.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Skyhawk did find the Spore Spawn door.
That seems likely unpleasant with the current loadout.
And an elevator.
Oh,
Skyhawk's just going to keep going. He doesn't want to have anything to do with that elevator right now.
Well, it automatically rewrites your save, so and you can see over to the left on the map, Skyhawk knows that this is either going to quickly dead end or turn up. So I understand just peeking this next couple rooms.
Yeah. Meanwhile, MST taking a death at this room again. Because that hive keeps doing massive amounts of damage.
Skyhawk gonna finally, yes, taking the elevator now, and let's see what zone awaits up here.
It's Criteria, folks!
Not one of our fancy ones, but this is a very nice room to see for Skyhawk. What are we getting in the corners? There's some in-logic missiles for our runners.
Mm-hmm. Skyhawk's going to be very happy to see those. And we're going to take a look on the other side of the room, which I believe could be a major, or was that the missiles the major? Because normally first missiles are the major.
Yeah, I don't know left or right here, but, you know. Well, I want to make the jump. Okay, just double missiles, but nothing wrong with that. With how many red doors we've seen, the more the merrier.
Yep. That is very, very true. Alright, MST is back in this conveyor belt room.
Yeah, gonna try to use these missiles to open up another pack, but, well, it gets knocked around a little bit.
It happens sometimes. Meanwhile, MST's come down to get a map scan. First map scan of the game.
Yeah, nice to get these going early.
Not an Inven map scan, though.
I mean, it wasn't full of lovely little item pips either, but, you know, we'll take it.
It's kind of the midway part.
Yeah. Alright, trying this platforming again.
Oh, and Skyhawk picks up Magnet Core, which is a very attractive item at this point in the game.
Oh yeah, very handy, especially with how limited our resources are here. Having to run over to wherever you have slain your most recent foe, it's time that we don't want to be spending, so...
Yeah. You know, Inven, 5 out of 10 penguins love Magnet Core
Oh, what's that?
because it's very polarizing.
And I spy, with my little eye up there, a Various suit that we cannot get yet. That's going to need a little bit of height and a morph ball. But good to know where it is. Again, between Pyron Waste and Freeze Flame both being area substitutions here, like, at least knowing where that is and what you need to get it is major info for Skyhawk here.
Yes, yes. And Skyhawk has been playing these seeds, like, constantly trying to get a good read on what can be done with these areas and what to expect. So there's a little bit of knowledge in knowing what the area might have to offer you. Oh, Skyhawk's trying to figure out a way to...
I think just farming missiles here. Just needed,
Yep.
yeah, red door.
Oh yeah, that is a bomb room, which Skyhawk is marking down.
Meridia Tube-esque.
Hey, listen, the internet is a series of tubes, so why not Meridia as well?
Apparently the palette disagreeing with some of our community members, or at least their electronics. That's...
Right?
I mean,
Right.
it could be like the Florida-themed rooms. It could always be a little worse.
Oh, being told to pipe down over the tube? How dare. Do I look like a Mario? I can't pipe down. Alright, MST is going to be finding these missile packs in the starting room to criteria.
Yeah, and again, it's still a little starved for them here. You know, over 11 minutes in, and the prospect of having to farm the little baby enemies just to constantly make progress, a little frustrating. Oh.
Yep.
And
And
not going to farm up 5 there for the red door. Just going to go ahead and reset.
Yeah. But, our runners will definitely know where that Varia suit is, which is going to be very helpful information.
Yeah, it's a good
Just
thing that
need that
MST saw that. Good info
Yeah.
to have, yeah.
They're going to need bombs and morph, or morph and spring to get to it.
Yeah. Even with the little goobers running around there, I don't think there's any kind of D-boost that'll actually accomplish that bypass.
No, because you have to be in morph already to get into there.
Yeah.
Right? Skyhawk is back in Hemolith again.
I mean, technically the only progression we've found so far is missiles. You know,
Yeah.
when is the seed gonna open up here? I mean, okay, we found Varia. We found it, but don't count that.
Has Skyhawk been back into Pyron Waste yet?
I don't know. Neither runner has, actually, so...
Oh, but there is going into the Spore Spawn door. And then saying no.
Well, when you only have 15 max capacity missiles, I can
That's
see
fair.
opening the door and saving it for later. Oh, there's a farm spot over here, so we'll get our
That helps.
missiles and our health back, and Skyhawk will be the first one into that fight for sure.
Which getting a boss down early is very good to have.
Oh, yeah. And it's not unreasonable for Spore Spawn to actually be blocking, you know, another important pathway or item, so doing it while you're here makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Or blocking an elevator like Spore Spawn is pretty much known to do in this game.
Yeah.
And we'll see how long it takes Skyhawk to actually farm this up. But that Magnet Core is going to help.
Yeah, I wonder what the health number we're looking for here is. We already got the missiles, so now it's just about the health.
Yep.
All right, had enough of it. like, I'm tired of these little locusts. Let's go. That's
This
a room.
Yeah. This is a room you have to open and close the doors because Spore Spawn will stop on either side. And unfortunately, with no jump capability or whatnot, you're gonna have to just wait for Spore Spawn to hop onto the other side and open that door for him. Shouldn't be too difficult of a boss fight, though, for Skyhawk.
Yeah, just on that first pass, kind of got stuck between a plant and a spore place, with both the little purple droplets and the actual boss cornering him. So 53 health, needs to exercise a little bit of caution here. Can't be too gung-ho.
Yeah. And with only 3 missiles left, gonna have to use the beam for the rest of this fight. Alright, MST is gonna... Oh, does it look like MST is gonna head back into Pyron?
Oh, I don't think this is the path to Pyron. I think it was
Oh, no.
back further west.
You're right, you're right.
So where are we going, MST?
This is a very unique Spore Spawn fight, folks, as Kaze is saying in the chat. The room makers are very cool about making some really interesting challenges with 3 bosses that we have.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes just some outright rude, awful, please don't make me play this room challenges. But again, that's for, you know, more TGIF kind of situations. And just a dead end. Well, there is an item in that room, but it's a dead end for us currently with our loadout, so...
Yep. And right now, Skyhawk knows the drill with what's in that room.
And it is more broken than some of these now. I'm not... Oh!
Oh!
Sorry. That's an exciting find right there. We have our can fly.
This is the first... This... Literally, 2 matches in a row, Space Jump is our first item.
And I think I am also, like, even as good of a find that is, I'm kind of inclined to agree with Kazuto here that was just how many red doors we saw back in Pyron. Like, I know you don't want to go there without that Varia, but there has to be something you can get to behind one of those.
Yeah, especially with all those doors. I mean, in a room like that, I'd say it's too adorable to, you know, not do.
He's so cute, ooh woo.
Never say that again in my presence.
Look, you reap what you sow.
Speaking about reaping what they sow, is Skyhawk going to take a death here against that lovable little hive?
And that is like the actual real final boss of this seed. Forget the other 3 bosses. We need to keep account of how many times that has killed our runners. Goodness.
Right? Now, Skyhawk knows that since MST won that first game, he's going to have to go a little bit harder here going into game 2. So I'm going to be interested to see is how hard Skyhawk pushes in some of these areas.
Oh yeah. Whenever you're playing from behind, you know, you have to decide, am I going to change my strategy up? You know, I mean, the paradox of luck, the higher, you know, skilled our 2 runners are, it will matter how lucky one of them gets, but you also need to take chances for that luck to come into play, to find it, to strike you. So...
Just like Salt and Pepper once said, push it real good.
TOS? No, okay. I will not break out in song, even though I do love hearing that one at karaoke.
Oh, Skyhawk manages to defeat that hive.
There we go. And MST on the way back through is able to pick up that E-Tank in our landing zone. So looking very healthy, rich get richer. Still 11% item collection at the 18-minute mark. Let's see if this long... Oh, there we go, finally! A beam!
I feel like this is also how the last seed started as well, because the first one was, Oh wait, no. Long Beam was found first by Skyhawk, that's right. But it was still found pretty early in the match.
Yeah, those were the 2, like, initial items in Cradler's last seed. It's always funny when, you know, something like, again, we even have different area substitutions here, but it's always funny when, you know, the logic decides we're still going to give you those little threads of similarity back to back.
Yeah. But unfortunately, knowing that Pyron Waste and Freeze Flame are your two areas, and that that Varia suit is just taunting you there, that you need Morph Ball and some sort of bombs or Spring Ball to get. It's still a long road before you're able to make progress in either of those two places.
Skyhawk is going to try it, though.
Yep.
Is here in Freeze Flame, but this is an awful big room for only one E-Tank.
Yeah, I don't see that going pretty well for Skyhawk at all. But Skyhawk's going to make another attempt at it.
Yeah, I think with...
MST.
I was just going to say, with a little more evasion and a little more luck, getting some health drops, and we'll probably be able to make it to at least one of these doors. But you were saying about MST and Spore Spawn?
Yeah, MST's in the Spore Spawn fight, which is going to take a little bit of time, while Skyhawk's able to scat out some places here in Freeze Flame. So that's going to help. Granted, Skyhawk does not have either of those items that MST has found yet, so still playing from behind.
Yeah, it does get a little more knowledge here. And that is a massive item to get with only 4 health on the board. That's half of the solution to getting Varia, and that could be exactly what Skyhawk needs here.
Yeah. That could give... all you need to do is find bombs or a Spring Ball at this point, and that'll give access to Varia for Skyhawk.
Yeah, and willing to go ahead and dip out of there with that. I agree with this play completely. We saw how heated the place was. Even that one feels like maybe it wanted you to have a second E-Tank for the logic to give it to you. I mean, Skyhawk was able to make it there. But just knowing what this opens for you elsewhere, I love dipping out as soon as getting that extremely valuable item.
Yeah, agreed. Amada says that Varia is gettable with a D-boost.
Oh, okay. So you can do it, and is that where Skyhawk is headed?
We're about to see.
I think this is the path. Forgive me if I'm incorrect.
No, I think it is too. Meanwhile, MST has defeated Spore Spawn and is getting that room next to Spore Spawn drilled in his memory. Can't access it yet, of course, but, you know, good to have.
Yeah, these runners both know the drill.
Yes.
Hey, when in Rome, right? When in Rome.
Exactly. Now Skyhawk's having to contend to these gonk droids over here.
Yeah, this is a cute little puzzle room. Of course, the space jump just means now that every time MST passes through there, it can just completely bypass it, but...
Yeah.
I still think it's a good room. I love this room. There we go.
There, yep. You have to use your brain. Just a little bit. Alright, yeah. I think Skyhawk is definitely heading to that elevator to try and get that Varia. Which, with that Varia suit, he can make some room into both Pyron Wastes and Freeze Flame.
Oh yeah, like, the world will be Skyhawk's oyster, except for, I dare say... Oh, he's getting the 3rd scanner online, too, also a nice boon. The big thing I'm worried about for Skyhawk here is, if you are getting that Varia, you have so many other options that you're probably not going back to where MST got the space jump. And so, of course, if you run into anything that gets in your way, like, yeah... like, are you going to end up having to double back? You know, like, last seed, the early spring... Missing the Spring Ball helped MST out in not getting it until later. And I wonder if that could be a similar situation this planet.
It's true. It's very true. Meanwhile, MST is going through these doors in Pyron Wastes here, seeing how far it's going to bring them and what wonders lie beneath or ahead.
Yeah, no heated room yet. Getting to maintain the full health, well, got booped there. Full health lifestyle.
Which, very useful in areas such as Pyron Waste. Oh, Phantom Core.
Chat here clamoring for Skyhawk to get the Varia. Did attempt a D-boost in that room, but may not be aware of the exact means of doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the means of doing it, but if Amada says it, I trust her.
Yes, agreed. Amada would know better than both of us, I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, what's Amada with you?
Ooh, we do find our crate door here in Pyron, but note the little visual effect coming out of the door. It is heated.
Yes, it is. So
So,
that Varia needed.
I mean, we could end up getting enough, power in other methods, but 3 E-tanks and this number of missiles is, well, okay, we're back to 30. It's intimidating. It's intimidating.
It is. An early game situation like this, it really makes you question your moves and where you go, and it becomes very much a round decision at that point. See if Braid's able to be taken out by MST here. Yes! Gets
Nicely
through it.
done. That was very good use of the shape of the room and like the way the floor was hilly to get right below the stomach spikes and not have to worry about them blocking a whole lot of shots there. Very good use of the terrain.
Yep, yep. Alright, Skyhawk making way through criteria.
Yeah, and this is one of those rooms where I worry about not having the space jump. I believe there is potentially a major up at the top middle of that one that we're not going to be getting on this trip unless bombs appear.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting also if Skyhawk can find Crystal Core, because that could also give an edge in this.
Mm-hmm.
Those that don't know, Crystal Cores are Diet Varia suit.
We don't have, again, missile supplies are still a little paltry, but every little bit helps.
Yes, very true. Well, a little
MST.
missile, or little, Metroid guarding a little missile.
And Pyron Waste being very forgiving on the heated room front. Like, I think that crate one was the nastiest one, but all these other areas are just letting MST accrue minor items and get ready for the later challenges.
Turns out that Pyron Waste may have been the early answer to go, oh, Spazer Beam!
The S in Spazer Beam stands for sponsor. Sponsor
That it
Pazer Beam.
does.
Wait.
They paid us money. Gordor, you haven't.
More one-off heated chambers, but more missiles.
Yeah, these one-off heated chambers are really good for MST in order to get a more of a pathway going through Pyron Wastes here without having to lose much health. Oh, and there's Phazon Core. Okay, while Skyhawk getting the opposite of Phazon Core, another E-Tank for his collection.
Yeah, this room we spotted earlier. It's next to the, I believe, the Criteria elevator. And I'm sure Skyhawk is very thankful for that after having been on just one E-Tank this long time.
Yes, yes. So right now, Skyhawk wants to get through and go back to Pyron Wastes ASAP at this point.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen have we seen a Spazer Gate yet? Any of the corkscrews?
I don't believe so. Not in this match.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen the wave checks either.
So all our blocks so far being more along the they're more health gates than anything so far. Yeah.
I mean, with Freeze Flame and Pyron Waste being the two areas, you were going to run into that.
Yeah.
So,
MST up to okay.
putting the Varia suit so early on is just the massivest tease for our runners.
Oh yeah, the fact that they got to see it like 15 minutes ago and neither one's been able to claim it is so rude.
Skyhawk can still not reach that long beam up there, unfortunately. This has not found that space jump.
Yeah, and MST up to 4 E-Tanks now, making a lot of these heated rooms even less of a worry. Whenever he gets up to Freeze Flame, should not have a problem getting that Morph Ball.
Yeah. At this point, I'd say this is giving MST quite a early lead.
Wide is the budget beam? I just... Dang, you know these beans are cheap. Look how wide they are. Paragon, you're the greatest. Thank you for all you do.
Yep, we gotta thank our trackers here for tonight, Alex Classics and Paragon, doing a heck of a job as always.
Another core for MST. Do you think Skyhawk doesn't realize that there is a way east to that space jump? Because I thought he was heading that way, and I was hoping he'd continue on and get it. Is there something he does not understand about that landing zone?
I don't think so. That's weird. Yeah, I would expect Skyhawk to go back for that space jump already by now, but no.
I understand not wanting to reset your save point all the way to your landing zone if you intend to go somewhere else. Like, hey, like here, we're going to go back to Pyron Waste. We know we'll get some good... Where you going? Don't make me a liar. Okay.
There you go.
Skyhawk accidentally pushing all the buttons on the elevator. We're never getting to our room. Okay, there we go.
Oh, I've been in an elevator once where someone said in a Duke Nukem voice, "Press all the buttons," and they did, and it was quite the ride. Unfortunately, that was Duke Nukem himself. Good old John St. John. Oh, and Kaze, elevator, go down the hole. Yep. Oh, Ice Beam.
Wait, did...
No.
How did MST miss that?
What?
I mean, great news for Skyhawk. Because I could have sworn that's the way that MST went to go and actually fight Kraid, was it not?
Yeah, I thought because there's the Phantom Core.
Yeah.
How?
Well, and MST is leaving Pyron Waste without the Ice Beam. That's a little concerning. Maybe not if we, are all rooting for a Game 3, which I'm sure we are. But that's a heck of an item to miss. Like, all you need is one Metroid combat room in Turian, which, again, I forget which... What's the exact replacement? Is it Eigenfos' Turian tonight? Is that right?
Yes, I believe it is Eigenfos that is Tor.
Okay, then probably doesn't have to worry about a Metroid combat room. Yeah. So, but still, Ice Beam, still very nice, a little worrisome.
Alright, so unfortunately, Skyhawk had to take a break there and not go into Kraid to deal with him because it only had 30 energy, but gained some missiles. Oh! I'd say that MST is screwed, but it looks like it's the exact opposite.
Again, not a progression item. Happy to have it. It's real nice here since we're still doing heated runs. Like, just not having to worry about colliding with these enemies. It's actually kind of funny that if Skyhawk had gone into that room first, would have not, been panicking, hitting this morph ball up here on 4 health the first time.
Yeah.
So that'll be pretty handy, especially if we have to go even deeper into Freeze Flame to put the Varian logic. Which, again, chat says we're logical enough, but we'll see what MST decides to route here.
So at this point, Skyhawk is a little bit behind right now. What do you think puts Skyhawk ahead at this point?
I mean, the Ice Beam is the big deal. There's no world, I think, where MST goes back to Pyron Waste. But again, we may not have a room that even requires it. So I think that's the big thing Skyhawk is hoping for right now. He doesn't know it, but any kind of Ice Gate would be a massive equalizer here.
Yep, agreed. Alright, let's see how long it takes Skyhawk to head back to Kraid. Take him out.
Yeah, the nice thing is we do know, down here in Pyron, there are more missiles, there are more E-tanks, and that Ice Beam will also be handy in the fight to freeze the little spikies that come out. There's another one. Just a little more oomph here, and Skyhawk will be able to take that Kraid down. MST spent a lot of time basically full clearing Pyron, so Skyhawk's not really missing out by exploring these extra corners of it.
No, not at all. At this point, it's just routing. That's going to give a benefit to MST at this point. Meanwhile, picking up another E-Tank for MST. Gaining there.
Oh yeah, very healthy. May decide he doesn't even need the Varia.
Yeah, that's
You've
what I'm
already
thinking.
cleared. Yeah, you've already cleared one of your notoriously heated zones. You have Screw Attack and 5 E-Tanks for the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
No,
pretty good shape here. But also, may just know the trick here. Are we going to see it?
Yep.
Oh,
There it is.
well. That jump looked like you didn't need any of that. It looked like you only needed Morph.
Yeah. Well, I think he needed some sort of jump there, because remember, he has space jump.
Right.
Yeah.
You would have had to. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. But you wonder what we haven't seen yet, Inven?
What's that?
We haven't seen a wave beam lock yet.
Yeah, we've seen, like, again, no beam locks.
Yeah.
So.
What I'm saying is there's a chance that there's no wave beam needed for this seed.
I mean, MSD could just be in go mode with that Varia.
Yeah. I mean, bombs, though, once again, we're in this situation where our bombs required, our bombs not. As Skyhawk found at the end of last seed, they were very much required, and I imagine MST at this point would want to go into Eigenfos with bombs.
On the other hand, you are a game up. Does that mean that
true.
you are you going to play like? Are you going to play more conservatively, and just hope that your opponent makes a mistake, or are you going to play even more aggressively yourself, knowing, well, if I lose this by being too aggro, I still have a game 3. Like I think both are valid ways to approach it, just depending on your mood and what you know about your opponent's tendencies and what you've seen in the earlier best of 3s this tournament.
Agreed, 100%. Oh, and it looks like Skyhawk's finally going into... Oh wait, no, he needs to go below there to face Kraid. I got my rooms mixed up depending on the level they're on. And MST's heading into Freeze Flame.
Yeah, coming back here after getting the Varia, perfect sense. I agree completely.
Yeah. I think it's going to be pretty easy going right now until MST finds some sort of gate he can't come across.
Yeah.
Which, MST's always saying, let the seed tell you what it needs. So this is a perfect example of that.
Alright, so taking another respawn back to the elevator. Still more exploration to be done here before going back to, Grid.
Which I don't blame. It's a solid strategy right now. Without
Oh,
knowing...
yeah. I would be a little worried because at this point, Skyhawk has seen 2 majors in this Pyron Waste, both the Ice Beam and the Spazer. But at the same time, 3 tanks, and you know what you need, what you're looking for to have logical access to that Varia. So I understand the thoroughness as well.
Yeah. It's a shame it's still taking a while for Skyhawk to go back to that space jump.
Yeah, I mean, I saw chat saying that some of them didn't know that there was a switch over there for the longest time. And that could very well be the be a nail. Not the final nail, but it could be a nail in securing MST's victory at this rate.
That is true. It's funny because Skyhawk had been practicing all these areas and putting up multiple Game 2 seeds this week, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, there are so many rooms.
Yeah.
And the tricky thing, especially about spawn rooms, is that you only get 1 ship landing per seed you play, right? Like, all your other rooms, when you spawn a planet, well, they can appear 100 different places. Your ship, well, there's only 1 spot for that, so if you don't see all of the rooms in practice, well, you don't necessarily know about them.
That's very true. Alright, Skyhawk dipping out. Did Skyhawk kill Kraid?
I don't think so.
Huh.
Maybe worried about the health situation and the fact that it's a heated room.
True. But with 55 missiles, I feel like you could just rush Kraid down, like MST did.
Yeah, that's what I would think as well. Also, Skyhawk, I'm not sure he even went in the room and may not know that the room layout there is extremely conducive to just, biting the ankles of the beast and killing it that way.
Meanwhile, on MST side, we're finally seeing our first beam checks, and we get both a spazer check and a wave check.
Mmm. The beams finally acting like they have something to do for our runners.
Hey, this time Ridley's putting up security, which is great. Someone had to learn eventually.
Ridley also has learned, what the greatest foe in the game is, and lined the hallways with hives.
Yeah, it's so true.
I would be having maybe a small panic attack at seeing this many after how that one was so cruel at the start of the scene.
Oh, that's a mean thing for Ridley to do, but MST should be able to get through here with that screw attack and everything going on, so it should not be any trouble whatsoever.
Yeah. Did find high jump boots, not likely necessary when you already have space jump, and chat pointing out that at the start of this Ridley zone also had a long beam block, which we know, for Skyhawk to get that, we would need to either get the space jump, well, we know where that is,
True.
bombs, or the high jump boots, which are blocked by the long beam. So
that whole route needs one thing after another there, and Skyhawk has not got the first thing on that list. So completely blocked off from doing any of that.
is going to be spending more time here in the is spending time in Freeze Flame, has the screw attack. We just got it a moment ago here in Freeze Flame, along with 3 tanks. So I like exploring a little more here. Because, well, it's also good because MST, I think, kind of just blazed through Freeze Flame until he saw the Ridley elevator. If there is a third major here that's important, this could be what Skyhawk needs.
Agreed. Which it could be that wave beam, and considering MST just came across that elevator room, which in order to get to the other 2 directions, you need that wave beam to access.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a way out for Skyhawk.
Yes. Well, there's another Ridley major, Spring Ball, and that's the door. That's boss number 3.
Yeah. Wow. Which so far, that also means that wave beam is not needed.
This is why they say wave beam's the worst beam.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, you needed spacer to get through things, you needed long beam to get through things. Ice is just nice to have. It's right there in the name.
Oh no!
Whoa!
That's rough. That's rough. So yeah, wave beam being there, not like another block has fallen.
Yeah, I think that kind of does Skyhawk in at this point, because I don't see anything that could stand in MST's way right now.
Yeah, chat, Hikastar is saying bombs in Turian. Very likely at this point. I mean, we've seen just about everything else. The bombs are probably the one thing that could save Skyhawk if they are somewhere very, very strange that MST puts off for a very long time.
Bombs in wreck ship, maybe? That could be a possibility, because especially if bombs are need to get into Torian.
Yeah, but after that Ridley kill and the pickup of the wave beam, MST firmly in the driver's seat here. Would require real bad luck to get hampered at this point.
Yeah, at this point. Oh, and there is Crystal Core, which will help the Skyhawk in not needing that Varia suit.
Yep.
But might be too little too late for Skyhawk, unfortunately, at this point.
So correct me if I'm wrong here, we've not seen either the wreck ship or the Turian elevator, right?
That is correct. We have not even got a glimpse of them. Oh, MST saw and skipped it, apparently.
Oh, okay.
So,
well,
meanwhile, Skyhawk goes up and down into Ridley and out of Ridley.
Gets the bad news there. Sees that long beam block. You'll have to come back later. And I see our landing zone there in the southeast corner of the map. Just it's screaming. It's screaming and haunting like a banshee.
Yeah.
Just come on, Skyhawk.
This is one of those not like this moments to leave an item in your starting area.
I mean, and space jump at that. But again, you know, it's also a funny thing just because of how the map was laid out, right? Because what cause do you have to go back there to even get a second view of it? And you've not looked at it in 40 minutes. You know, is there anything? Because sometimes, you know, a similar room or something will spark your mind, give you that memory, being like, oh, right. But we're so divorced from it at this point that I don't see it coming to mind.
Unfortunately, right now it just seems like Skyhawk has just passed off as empty space there, but it really is just empty space jump. That was a horrible one. I am sorry for that one.
I don't even know what you were going for there. I just smiled and nodded. I'm like, like when they're bad, but you understand them, you can be like, that's when you groan. It's when they're bad and you don't understand them that you're just like, huh?
Listen, you miss 100% of the space jumps you don't take, which Skyhawk is finding out right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, again, there's a lot of reasons why that room would be easily overlooked. So, bombs showing up somewhere would be Skyhawk's dream come true. But
yeah. But at this point, it's looking like it's MST's game right now.
Yeah. And it does look like MST is playing a little more conservatively here. In spite of knowing that other elevator, is taking the time to clean out a bit more of this freeze flame. Make sure you don't leave, you know, your bombs here, for instance.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're finally possibly about to see Skyhawk take on Kraid. Finally, after, wow, 47 or 46 minutes in. Yeah, no, it's been a long time coming for Kraid, I would have to say.
Yeah, 4 E-Tanks, Crystal Core if you want it, Ice Beam, Screw Attack, even with a heated room, not too much to worry about down here.
Yeah. And not going for Kraid. Okay, that's a choice. Oh, wait, no, is this the Kraid room? Oh.
Is it down to the left down here?
It might be. I might have got my rooms confused because it's been so long.
Yeah. This is kind of a funky Pyron Waste too. Like this hub with all the red doors off of it, just kind of.
Yeah.
Very
100%.
fascinating.
All right. MST is back into Hemolith right now. I guess now it comes time to see if confined bombs are just going to head straight to Torian.
Oh, and the chat dropping some further lore here that this landing site apparently did give people fits during the Swiss round, and Skyhawk even saw Amada apparently have a minor freakout over that landing zone.
Oh, wow.
This is kind of knowledge that I'm shocked has escaped Skyhawk's memory.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes you just memory hold these things after so many matches, especially going for so long. This tournament has been going for, what, 3 months now?
Yeah, and like you said, Skyhawk has been practicing so much this week that, you know, whatever room you don't see, your brain is just replacing with the next one, right? So.
Exactly. Which is fair, considering you don't want that seed lead to affect you too much.
Yeah.
Paragon says the room was even edited to make sure the secret was more obvious. Wow. That's... ouch. You hate to see it.
MST here activating the third scanner.
Getting not much for his efforts there.
Yeah, peculiar.
Right. So since we're in criteria, we're probably looking for the Torian or wrecked ship elevators right now.
Don't think there's a lot of places the Turian one could have been hiding in the zones we've already seen, so
Yeah.
makes a ton of sense here. Biggest unexplored area, or pardon me, the area with the most unexplored space. There we go.
Yeah. Yep.
Let me be a little more precise in that phrasing.
Agreed. But yet, it is not the area with the most unexplored space jump.
Oh. No. I mean, just because you're right doesn't mean you should say.
Listen, we're here for entertainment. Alright, so how deep is these elevators here? Oh wait, no, MST has already scanned. Oh wait, no, that's an item.
Yeah, what are we doing up? Okay. I mean, I guess you could just be very concerned about bombs.
Yeah. And honestly, at this point, I think MST has that breathing room to be like, okay, I want to be sure that the end of last seed doesn't happen, and I want to get those bombs taken care of.
That's true. MST is very aware that last seed, he had both bombs and wave required for the escape. Didn't need them until after Mother Brain.
The worst time to find out.
Yeah.
Alright.
And
Looking
Skyhawk,
like it's deep here.
yeah, Skyhawk also coming back up to criteria. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest though. You've not raced Metroid planets if you have not gotten hosed by one specific room somewhere, just completely throwing you off and ruining your night. Like, it has happened to all of us. I do not believe anyone has done one of these on race time and not had just the one where you're like, ah!
Yeah. And it really sucks on this part because how the one item that is right there needs to lead to all the rest of your items. So it's kind of a domino effect at this point that has really kind of hosed Skyhawk over. So Kaz in the chat goes, missing a required item? He didn't plan it.
I can't stand it. I know you, planets.
I mean, I can't stand it either. That's why I'm sitting down right now.
Alright, okay, there's one more vertical shaft there over to the east. Oh, right! The tube! Remember the tube?
Right,
the Meridia tube?
Tube. And that
But we don't have bombs!
Yeah.
Uh-oh! Alright, Skyhawk back in it, come on!
So what you're saying is there's a chance.
There is a chance. This is a massive chance here.
So if I was bombs, where would I be hiding?
I don't know! Where have we not been?
Like, so we know there was 3 items already in Pyron Wastes, right? There was 3 down there?
I mean, there was Ice and Spazer.
Okay, so 2 items there.
Yeah, and then Ridley's Lair had High Jump and Wave Beam. And Spring Ball, right?
Yes, that's right. Spring Ball was there too.
So 3 there. Freeze Flame had Morph Ball and Screw Attack.
Mm-hmm. So Criteria, I feel like, would be the area.
Yeah, but with our runners just like combined devoted 3 or 4 scans to it, and I don't see where up there.
Yeah. And both runners pretty much thoroughly explored Pyron Wastes pretty well.
Yeah, like, and they both very much did. So, I don't know. Chad, any ideas? Where do y'all think these morph bombs are hiding?
That's... Now you gotta be thinking. And yes, Paragon, I'm completely broken at this point. Paragon wants them to be in the poop, which we should have saw that coming. But I think to access the poop, you're going to need bombs at this point. If the elevators are over there. Gordor, who rolled the seeds, goes, I mean, I know, but I won't spoil. Smiley face.
Yeah. And shoutouts to rolling and vetting and everything and making sure, like the one I do love, by the way, this tournament, so many folks went to make it happen, especially shoutouts to the room curators who sorted through and looked over thousands of rooms. But sometimes, you miss something. There have been patches that have and updates to the pack that have had to been made. So Gorador going through and making sure the seed is beatable so we don't have to re-roll during the finals. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for your work.
That is true. That is very, very true. And you know what? This brings us to our fourth sponsor of the night. For you want a best seed roller, you go Cult Gordor.
Yeah, Skyhawk being back in the landing zone is very good, but
interesting. In the race room, Skyhawk is asking about a room check on the landing site because he can't get back to the ship.
Yeah. One of our trackers, Alex Classics, in the chat saying that Sky needs to re-enter the room. But I know that this room is fine because well, correct me if I'm wrong. MST earlier went left to start.
Yeah.
Ended up finding the Pyron Waste elevator, which reset his spawn point, but was still able to go all the way back east to Space Jump. Is this correct?
That is correct, yes. Because that's the only way that MST would have been able to do that. Yeah.
And yes, MST did go back to Pyron Waste, found the ice beam he had missed, but I don't see how that would help us get bombs at this point. I don't think that's the solution to our Turian quandary.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. There's the robot.
There it goes, yeah. And Skyhawk now knows what he needs to do at this point.
Yeah, and I will note that, well, MST does not have these required bombs. Doesn't have them.
That's true. That's true, too. And Amada says the robot was not lock-spawned.
Yeah, so it just wasn't there and needed it to be there to make the jump. Understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Skyhawk is now finding that space jump.
I am sure he is saying words that you cannot air on SpeedGaming right now. I would be so mad right now.
Yeah.
You have to feel real bad about that. But little does he know, he's still in this. We have no idea where bombs are. So
it's an hour here.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just have to focus up. Don't let your emotions get the better of you. And yeah, it's not over until the other player dones.
That's true.
Well, we don't do that anymore. We just click a button, but you know what I mean.
Yep. MST's heading back into Ridley.
Didn't we already have 3 items in Ridley?
Yeah.
If there is a 4th one here behind this wave beam check.
Gate?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. And there is 2 items here. If this is our answer. Okay, not this first room.
But yeah, Ridley's section did have the most items that MST didn't pick up, but you already have 3. Why would you think there would be more here? But this makes sense. This makes sense.
Not there. So they were not behind that wave check, which I had a feeling that if they were, Gordor would have been smug as heck.
I believe that Gordor is an expert at operational security and would not relate any info like that.
There's also that wave beam room in Ridley, right? Yeah, that's what the room we're... Oh, no, it was the elevator one, I think. That we haven't gone the other ways yet. Yep, I don't think it was here.
And I believe that ride item there is guaranteed to be a minor, so MST didn't even peek yet, yeah.
Yeah. Paragon is flipping a table right now. This is a seed, I'll say that much. And Skyhawk is getting that long beam right now.
That's very good. That should guide Skyhawk directly back to Ridley, where we know there are so many items. And the fact that MST is scouring Ridley Zone for bombs, if Skyhawk just commits to Ridley Zone here, we're back in business.
Yeah. But there's those bombs on MST's
but the clock
side
is ticking. That's 4 majors in Ridley?
I hate it. Can I get a reroll, please? Oh, and we just passed the hour mark.
So here we go. MST going to be heading back up here to that Meridia tube. There should be 2 elevators past it.
Yep. MST in pretty much go mode, because that's all majors, I believe.
Yeah, that is a very, very full tracker.
Yes, it is. Alright. Shouldn't be too long for MST to head that way. But then the question is, how trolly is this Eigenfos?
That's true. Big knowledge check, tons of dark rooms. We do not have the sensor core, do we? Wait, which one is that again? I cannot tell sensor, and it's... I think I may be slightly colorblind.
Yeah, I might be having seed bleed here, but didn't Skyhawk pick up sensor, or was that last seed?
That was last seed. That was last seed.
Okay.
Okay. That's the yellow one, not the brown one, although they're both very similar, and I think I might be a little colorblind. But the good news is, yeah, this will be fun. We do not have sensor core, and that means that a whole lot of knowledge checks could be incoming.
Yeah. 100% here. Which, considering MST has not practiced Eigenfos, could be a detriment. Meanwhile, Skyhawk is going to head through to get to Ridley. See how fast he goes.
And Chad is right, by the way, that of course, if you decide you want to get into planets, you cannot be surprised when a zone shocks you. I mean, you'll be surprised, but you can't be salty about it. There's always it's standard deviations, it's variance. Sometimes you're going to roll a whole bunch, sometimes it's not going to have anything. And that's why randomizers are fun. So, but I'm sure that it's not the expectation you go into in your matchup either.
Yeah, and I mean, who hasn't had the Metroid feeling of walking past a room multiple times in the regular games and being like, oh, I'm looking at you, Meridia Tube.
And MST's heading left here. I thought the Meridia Tube was over to the right. What was left remaining on this side of Crateria?
I don't know. Huh. Did MST just forget where that tube is?
Nah, I've seen MST's map. Like, it's very obviously over there. So it must have a suspicion about something else in one of the rooms on this left side.
Was there a bomb check over here, too?
Yep.
Oh,
there it is.
Yes, it is. Answered my question almost immediately.
Yeah, didn't label that way. How are we supposed to know? But no,
exactly.
But no. I mean, if MST is heading a direction, there's a good reason for it, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
That's elevator music.
That is the down elevator right here. We'll see where it leads. Oh, and it's Wreck Ship.
We need the other one. We do know Wreck Ship has 0 majors at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nothing to do there.
And unfortunately, Paragon, this means that you are going a whole tournament without poop. Hate to be the bearer of bad poop news.
For the uninitiated, would you care to clarify what you're referring to? For anyone who just tuned in, they saw Gaming was streaming a very cool game.
Yes, because all of the rooms in Metroid Planet's Enigma are made by the players, thanks to the wonderful room creator. There is a toilet room made by Paragon, which is a sewer room called Don't Touch the Poop. And it's a room with round blocks at the bottom, and when you touch it, you get damaged. And there's a major item down there. So Paragon's always wanting to have the poop room show up.
Excellent. Thank you for clarifying that. I've been to that room. I know that room. But just, anyone tuning in who's like, why are they talking about like, yeah, there's a reason. There's always
a reason.
There are many cute rooms, clever rooms, and then, of course, it takes all kinds.
It does. That it does. And if you are seeing this for the first time and want to get into Metroid Planets, definitely head over to the Discord and get into the community. Everyone's happy to help, and you can start downloading rooms left and right, and even just play a new version of the original Metroid for NES. So
and here we go. MST did see the tube over here to the right. Unfortunately, of course, hitting the other elevator, you got to walk back. No reverting back to the Criteria entrance, but this should be just about... Okay, if Turian's not past the tube, this is going to be very confusing.
It will be. But knowing this seed so far, I would not put it past the seed. And we're about to get the peek behind the tube.
I'm going to check up first rather than down. Dead end. I think we actually saw this dead end on a Skyhawk scanner earlier. So
yeah.
Down we go.
Yep, and here we go. Need to use the spring ball in order to get over this, but here's the elevator, which is going to lead to Eigenfos, our Taurian of the night.
Eigenfos, a very cool zone, but it's definitely one that you want to practice if you know it's going to be included, which we know MST didn't. So let's see how he manages it.
Yeah. My beams know what you did in the dark, so light them up.
And as Kaze is saying, follow the green lights. Well,
yep.
Follow the green light. You'll have an easier time.
Oh, and another tube room. You might say that the seed tonight is pretty tubular.
Kaz in the chat. Not practicing this area is bad. I can vouch for that. That's a good one. That's really
good. Very good one. Yes. It is not 8-minute tube room, though. That is true. That is very, very true. Thankfully, that did not make it into this tournament pack, I don't think. But for those who want to experience it, you could download it right on the Metroid Planet server.
Mm-hmm.
Which the other cool thing... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, and again, I was effusive with the praise earlier for the tournament organizers who spent the time verifying them. So also, if you just want to reduce the chances of creating, everyone makes mistakes. It's easy to forget a little bit of routing in a room you design. So it's a great pack to start with because most of that has already been checked by multiple sets of human eyes.
Yes, agreed. And the other cool thing is that a new version of Metroid Planets is coming very, very soon, as the creator of Vacant Shade said a couple days ago. So have that to look forward to. So now's a great time to jump on the Planet's wave, but not the Planet's wave beam because we don't talk about that.
Well, it's extremely important, this seed. The big question I'm considering right now is, does Skyhawk remember these other Wavegate checks? Is he going to get bombs on his first trip into Ridley Zone instead of, having to revisit like MST did?
Mm-hmm. That's the key.
Is walking here rather than warping, which implies there's some checks he wants to make in here.
Yeah. Which good for him, I'd say. And if he's gonna go down to the no. No bombs.
Other
yet
corner! Other corner!
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and there's our mother brain room. This is a really cool mother brain room because it feels like a little bit of a gauntlet as you're going through with all the Metroids and everything.
Yeah. Good thing MST went back and found that ice beam.
Yeah, right?
This would be a little trickier without it.
I totally forgot that this is the mother brain room that shows up in Eigenfoss, so yeah, ice beam very much needed.
Yeah, I mean, maybe with the Phantom Core you can slip by here, maybe with the Chrono Core you can outrun, but we did get an Eigenfoss room where the ice beam is extremely helpful.
Yes, that's very true.
Look out, they're coming. Alright.
Alright, and here's Mother Brain.
Nice Rinka freeze. Perfect height. That brain is toast.
Yep. With only a minute and 33-second timer here, it's going to be a very short escape sequence.
Short escape.
We're probably only a few seconds away from MST being crowned the victor of this tournament.
Richly deserved. One of the best runners of this game. Cannot really call this an upset, but nevertheless had so many great... Wow, that was quick.
Yeah. Bunch of GG's in the chat for MST.
GG's MST.
Race time of a minute 10 and 34 seconds.
Very well done. Very well done on kind of a sneaky route seed to finish off the tournament.
Yeah, it was. That was definitely a seed. And here he is, MST himself.
You know, I told Skyhawk I congratulated Skyhawk on a second place finish before these races, thinking he would actually beat me.
I can confirm that. I've seen it in the chats. Like, wow. But
so, what happened to Skyhawk in race 2? Because he made a comment in the chat, which I was a little...
What happened was that robot did not spawn for him to get back over to the area in the landing zone. So therefore, he did not think that he could get back.
Oh, he didn't respawn. He still hasn't picked up area? What?
Yeah. Although he got Crystal Core. He did not realize also that he could essentially lodge himself into that area where the Varia suit is.
Oh.
So,
oh.
Yeah.
No, I think he knows that.
No,
Pretty
he
sure
tried. He tried and then decided to pass it up, but instead got Crystal Core, so that's a thing.
Huh.
Yeah, so fundamentally the big thing was that the space jump that you got fairly early in the seed and just helped you do everything smoothly, Skyhawk didn't go back for until about 45 minutes in, as Amada is pointing out in chat. So that room really kind of just set the stage for the whole seed. Like, there were some moments where it looked like maybe things would could swing back his way, like when you missed Ice Beam on your first path through
Yeah.
through the waste, but just there was so much, and then the long beam blocked Ridley. Like, maybe if he didn't need long beam, he would have had enough health to have still dealt with all of the damage rooms and everything. But long beam hard required, and that just forced so much extra backtracking.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
See, in both of these races, I actually felt really bad. Race 1, I felt was... I thought there was maybe some outs, but that he would be really close. This race, I thought it was just beyond. Like, when I went back for Space Jump, I guess I could have pushed Freeze Flame more, and maybe that's what he did? But, like, I didn't really have options otherwise. So I just... I don't know.
He did notably get Morph Ball long before you did, with a damage run in Freeze Flame that ended with 4 health and picking up the Morph Ball. So that looked very appealing. Like, that was a huge opportunity, but
right,
it just, Morph Ball didn't have the payouts to the degree that Space Jump into Long Beam did, especially
Right.
with 4 majors in your Ridley zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
to-
not expecting. I mean, that's why I left it. That's why I based last location bombs in that area.
Yeah.
It's like I was not expecting another major in there.
And he basically held off on doing Kraid for a long time, too. So, like, he didn't get Kraid done until, I believe, it was like 45 minutes in? Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
I think that was more because he didn't peek the room. Like, you went in there and you saw that you could use the height advantage to just shoot him in the toes.
Yeah.
Whereas ShyGuy saw it was a heated room, and then I don't think even went in to see what the room layout was, because it was still on, I believe, 1 E-tank, 2 E-tanks? So,
Yeah, it was pretty low energy.
yeah.
So game 1, though, you two were super, super close. You two were actually, if you watch the VOD, right next to each other for most of the seed the entire time. And the thing that sets you apart is, so Skyhawk did not pick up bombs or wave beam. So Skyhawk was actually in the escape before you, and Skyhawk got murked by a Metroid there, and died. Didn't realize, he didn't get the info yet that he needed bombs and wave beam in order to get through that.
Until that was so close.
Yes.
Yeah, and you were actually rewarded by missing a spring ball the first time you were in, I believe, Ridley Zone. ShyGuy got it the first trip, and your missing it made you kind of route in and get the other stuff that you needed to actually escape after Mother ran.
Right, yeah.
Apparently, yeah, Rogue is getting squished right now. Paragon's cat, our lovely tracker. So, who actually does the
That reminds me.
tracking? Paragon or
Gross.
Rogue?
Gross. There was something that you wanted to ask MST from round 1.
Oh, that's right. Was it the elevator? Why weren't you
Yes.
checking the elevator to go into, what was it? Wreck Ship or Torian? Did you know that that elevator wasn't Torian up in Criteria in Seed 1?
Hold on, let me think back. Let me try to remember Seed 1 here.
Yeah. It's like ages ago at this point.
Look, Skyhawk's the one who practiced. I played 2 seeds with these room sets, and I'm already getting seed bleed. This is terrible.
That.
By the way,
Yeah,
GG, I didn't get a chance to say before.
I didn't find Wreck Ship in Seed 1. Where was the train elevator in Seed 1? What was it off of?
It was
it
off
Criteria?
of Criteria. Yeah.
Oh, then
Yeah.
I probably just... No, I would have just found the train first, I guess. I just came across it first. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know
well-
where it is, so either
Well,
one.
you were
I'm
there in
not-
the elevator. You didn't go up the elevator for some reason. Oh wait, no, it was the Wreck Ship elevator. That's right. You didn't go. Up the
I
Wreck
think
Ship.
that you just, even though you're not remembering it, MSD, I think you just knew because you had scanned and gotten Turian rooms on your map,
Oh,
and they were
yes,
down,
yes,
but the
thank
elevator that
Edmund.
you found was up, so that's why you didn't even
Yes.
peek it, which was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
that was... Yeah, no, you just made me remember. Yeah, no, So, big reason why I thought it would do so. I went back through Pump Ruins, because I didn't pay attention. And I didn't check the rooms I scanned on the map. So I just thought, Pump Ruins was somehow really big, because I'm kind of dumb. And I would find the elevator off of there. So that's why I went all the way back through Pump Ruins. And then when there was no connections, I looked at the map and I was like, oh, that's where I went. So yeah, when I came across the Wreck Ship elevator, that was an upwards elevator. That was away from terrain. So yeah, I just knew that was not gonna be.
That's fair. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot
Every
of sense.
now and then, some smart comes out of me.
I mean, I kept mentioning a lot that you had not practiced any of this, and Skyhawk has spent like the past week going hardcore into practice for this. So
Yeah, I mean,
you
it's just whatever works for people. I did look at the rooms in the editor just to make sure, if there was any really, because I was not familiar with Pump Ruins or Reservoir hardly at all. So I would look through the rooms just to see, which ones had majors, if there was any, really hidden paths I should pay attention or watch out for.
Mm-hmm.
That was my practice, and for me, it works better. Like I don't know. My ability drastically goes down the more things I play in succession together.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah, seed lead's a real thing, and in a game where remembering your pathing and
one in this.
yeah, and what rooms you've already been to, having like, oh, am I supposed to go back to Pyron Waste for this, or was that the seed I did 4 days ago and 8 seeds ago?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how you feel that these two seeds win for you here tonight?
Very surprised with both. Like seed one, like I said, I thought there were some potential outs for me, but I thought, like, especially when I started with Pump Rooms and realized I had to go all the way back. I had some other issues in there too, so I felt like any potential I had to win that seed probably evaporated with the Pump Runes part. So I was very surprised to win that one, and this one I don't know. Like, I felt even worse about this one. So I did not, like, the first seed, I thought I had something else. This seed, I didn't think there was anything Skyhawk could have done that would have given me any outs. Because, like, again, like, he could have, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, he could have done, as I'm looking for bombs, he could have done the heat runs and freeze runs early on. But I didn't think, like, Morph wasn't really, it's needed, but it's not like it really gave you anything to do, so I didn't think that was gonna, like, take him out of the way of anything major for any good at the time. I don't know, I just I did not think this was gonna work for me. I thought we were going to a game 3. I was waiting for him to finish while I was looking for bombs.
Yeah, no, I was very surprised.
Yeah, you each got hosed by one item. It's just that the one you got hosed by was at a point where you didn't have a whole lot left to go back for. And the one that he got hosed by was, a little more costly.
Which it happens, it's Enigma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just, I am so surprised that it was Space Jump that did it. Like, again, when I went there, I felt like that was the last location, other than, potentially doing the hazard runs in Freeze Flame. And with the amount of energy you had, I don't think you would have really spent that much time in there. So to me, it's like you would have. I felt, like, sure, you could have got more, but you're still a bunch of hazard runs, and why would I still be in there?
Makes sense. Right now, we're seeing Skyhawk finish up Mother Brain here, regain some missiles real fast before taking on the big brain plays.
I get so far with them.
Yep. Sometimes you need it. Really happy Igonpost was my area. I really like Igonpost as an area. It's not very good out there. Yeah. So it has this kind of ambience to it that's very kind of almost foreboding and everything that works well for a final area. Alright, and Skyhawk is now in the escape.
And we do know this is a very short escape, so get those GGs ready, chat. Skyhawk's sticking with it, persevering, not gonna let the seed be the boss of him.
Yep. So
true. I do think it, whenever you're doing a multi-header back-to-back, forfeiting just to keep the show rolling is nice, but I'm sure that he wanted vengeance against the first planet as well.
Yeah.
Skyhawk's unloading all
It's just like,
missiles.
yep, that was the escape.
Yeah, he just farmed the
missiles.
missiles.
Before Mother Brain, there was like 50 rooms to get to her.
Yeah, farmed all those
Revenge
missiles
upon the
just in
planet.
case. Blow it up.
All right,
Time
and
bomb set.
Skyhawk out with a race time of 1:23:35. Yeah, chat, don't GG before he gets out on that elevator. How dare
I'm gonna
you?
make you wait for it.
And while we're waiting on him, MSD, question in the chat. Has anyone else know that the stream uploads on YouTube have been going private? For folks who do want to watch the races from this amazing tournament, is there an update on that for folks who have enjoyed watching, or is that anything you would know anything about?
That I don't know anything about. I know they'll push them out to public at some point. I just don't have any.
Gotcha.
for that.
So just keep on watching, Ranma B. Keep checking that YouTube.
Yep. And GG's Skyhawk, welcome to join us in the chat.
GG, if you want to call it that.
GG's.
Well, let me go back to game one, because game one was insanely close and it was like a butt clencher at some points, because the fact that you guys were doing the exact same things at the exact same times, including the exact same deaths at the exact same times, it was kind of amazing to watch.
Except for the escape, then.
Except for the escape, where actually you were the first one in the escape, Skyhawk. But
Cool.
unfortunately, because you missed the bombs and the wave beam, even though the Metroid murked you, you still had to go back and probably get those items.
Oh, you attempted with. Wow, that's pretty.
I risked
Well-
because I was falling. I felt like I was behind, and I felt the same way in the second seed. The second seed was worse because I didn't check the landing site. 40 minutes in, I regretted my choices. So I was just waiting for you to finish.
I was waiting for you to finish in both seats too.
Nope. Unfortunately, your wish was granted, sir.
But no, that was a very interesting match from both of you. What happened is, so MST searched forever to find those bombs, by the way, Skyhawk. Like, could not find them until
Yeah,
the
I
I
last
also
second.
went everywhere else to find bombs in the second seed.
Oh, second seed. Well, the problem was I didn't need bombs. Is that the way I went, I knew what I had left to check for bombs, but I had checked everywhere else. If I had the landing site, I think I would have definitely finished a lot sooner.
Yeah, that space jump definitely kind of hold you in, because it prevented you from getting the long beam, which then prevented you from being Ridley, which had those 4 majors there.
Yep.
It's space jump being a locking item is kind of odd and definitely not common.
And I had to find crystal core, and I'm like, I'm not picking up that Varia. I even cleared Kraid without it.
Now, going back to that Varia, you had a little bit of problems getting to that Varia. Everyone was saying that you could have just damage boosted in once you had that morph ball.
Oh, sorry.
I have
you know
to. I have to look back at that room and
Yeah.
see why I couldn't do it.
Yeah, because
It
everyone
wasn't
was
the biggest game changer. I left it alone.
like, no, but it did prevent you into going into Kraid, because you took forever to go back to Pyron Wastes after you opened that Kraid door and you saw it was heated. It turns out that you could get through that decently, as MST found out.
Yeah, my worry was that the Kraid fight was the Kraid in the big tank. That would have needed more energy. Now, had I checked, I probably would have just gone for it, because that was an easier fight.
Now, a question to both of you for the beginning of the seed. What is your favorite enemy to fight at the beginning of the seed, and why is it the Hive?
Oh my gosh. That's
Those
stupid.
hives.
And I got an energy take out of it. Like, were you also frustrated with how many missile doors were in Pyron? And did you go
I
down
got
and
there
see
first. I got there first, saw it, I'm like, oh, okay, I need missiles. Where are missiles? I'm looking for missiles. Where are missiles? Where's anything? I knew this was gonna be rough as I was practicing. I knew this was gonna be the roughest week of the entire tournament.
they were some rough seeds.
They were.
I don't know. I felt you actually had a bigger advantage over me with your practice because of that. I actually before we started, I was not feeling great that I didn't at least do a few seeds.
I'll be honest, I was not feeling comfortable with either game. Half the time I would generate pumps. Anytime a pump ruin start happen, most of the time you had to leave to get an item to come back. And I don't know, I can't explain it. Just my worst fears came true.
Well, here's the thing. At least you know exactly who to blame for this, and that's Gordor who rolled these seeds.
What?
No,
Okay. The
no, I
room
don't
name
want
for
Gordor.
Seed 2 is like Gordor's magnum opus. He should quit.
I
Perfect
don't.
Wave is such a Gordor room name.
Oh, to go back to, so for those watching, I had asked in chat, race chat, about the elevator cycle. So when I came back, the robot at the door was not there. So it's not a locked spawn.
Yeah, that I missed that.
That
when I
made
put
me worry.
the, other tiles in there.
So when I asked and I went back and forth, I found it again. Then you asked me if I was stuck and I said no.
Yeah, Amada posted in the chat that she realized that it's not a locked spawn, so you just had to reset the room.
Yeah.
So did you get space right away or?
Nope. I went left like a good player.
Yeah.
And yeah, so no, I did not get space. I don't know. I don't remember when I got it. But so I didn't get. So Pyro and Waste was almost locked, and then Heat Run was. I had no tanks. Well, I had the one, but I didn't go back because I got the 1E tank under the hive afterward, and I pushed forward a little bit. I think I might be misremembering the order I did things in. Because I also found Freeze Flame and Big Heated Room right away, so I left.
Get
With
that.
No energy.
So I got.
So
I
it was
got
probably
space.
10-ish minutes when I got Space Jump. Maybe a
10?
little longer.
That little longer for me, just a little bit.
I can confirm it was the first major of the second seed as well as the first.
It is, yes. I got that. Would have gotten base jump. Would have gone right into Kraid.
Yep.
Still would have been stuck. Would have gone up. Would have found that. With the E tank, I would have gotten screw attack. I would have pushed this a little further.
Now, MST,
think-
I just realized I forgot about something that's right at the beginning of game 1. You went
Yep.
right to begin with.
I did.
You did.
Oh,
Hold on.
my hearing lies.
Oh.
You did.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that room.
Yes.
I went right because it's a quicker check right away. Because left, in that linear site, you have to hit that switch without any jump, so you can get up. So, yeah, I just checked the one door right, and then I turned around. I was like, nope, I'm going left.
Still, you still went right to begin with, and I just want to make
Yeah.
that clear.
Well, we started in what, pump rooms? I think those pump rooms started.
Pump ruins in game 1.
Yeah, game room.
So, when looking through the rooms, like there was a few, one by one item rooms that are just off to the right. So it's like maybe you'll just give me a major or a missile right away. So, like, for instance, in my first race was against Koopa. I didn't get my first missile in 10 minutes in, and by that point, Koopa basically had finished the seed.
Yeah.
It's like, so, and it was, you had to go right to start or something like similar. So it's like, I don't want to have that.
That's fair. I don't blame you for that.
If I could just quickly spike something and then go left, great.
Well, GG's to both of you for hell of a run in this tournament. Like, this has been an amazing 3 months, and just seeing you both go through the brackets just was quite the ordeal.
The ordeal is exactly what I'd call it. Yeah, no. Also, congrats. I'm just looking at the predictions. Looks like Conan came out on top on the predictions. So, congrats to Conan, the barbarian out there.
Crumb.
Yes, Carl lives around there. And yeah, so in just a little bit, we don't have a whole lot to say about the next tournament. There is another tournament being planned, but that's for later. We're gonna be working on the room pack, obviously. Now we've discovered this lineage site has a robot that doesn't spawn when it should. There's another fix we have to do. But there's been a lot of new rooms too that weren't in here, so we're gonna be going through. Amada's gonna. Sounds like could be putting in a lot of work, going through rooms and maybe fixing some stuff up like the robot spawn.
Yeah, this tournament pack's gonna get a lot bigger, and hopefully that means we'll see a lot less of the same rooms. Cough, complex.
Well,
Complex did not show up in either of these seeds.
Nope.
Needed
the wreck
Actually,
ship.
Brinstar was replaced in one of them.
Needed the wreck ship. Did you go to wreck ship at all?
I went to looking for terrain and seed too.
Okay.
So I found the elevator to it. That was it. Yeah, wreck ship being wreck ship again. So yeah, great job.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, the room pack's gonna get bigger. It'll be on a new version. And speaking of the new version, it is not. Vacant wanted to post it at 8 p.m. tonight, as soon as the race started, but it's not quite ready.
Yeah, not even. He thinks it's not even close. So.
Yeah. So, but he does have some potential dates. There's going to be a stream about it and some of the stuff coming up in it at a future date. So, can look forward to that. But yeah, the new version will do some other things, and if some particular things are in it, this is why we can't really say much about the next tournament yet, because we have an idea we plan on doing for it. Plan on a Connect tournament. We can say that, but there's features that might be the new version that we would want to use, but we don't know if they will be in there yet. So, and
we don't know how everything will interact. This version will be pretty big in terms of how you play this game.
Yes, it'll be
very much so.
What you've seen here, it'll look pretty different. Well, I guess we'll just say that.
Yeah.
But no, I do want to thank everybody for. I guess first of all, you guys, since you commentated and tracked for us tonight. But there was a lot of people that helped behind the scenes too.
Yeah.
Skyhawk was very helpful with this room pack, with helping me try and rush and get this room pack ready for this tournament.
Yeah. No. Funny that the two biggest organizers are the ones in the final. Not staged, folks. Not staged.
Plot armor.
It's happened that way.
Look, if send all your angry emails to Amada.
On my end as well, I thank everyone that's helped. Commentators, trackers, volunteers behind the scenes, everyone vetting rooms. The vetting the rooms was the biggest job here. Trying to get something that was not trying to remove most of the trolley stuff, trying to keep most of the unique stuff, because a lot of copying happens when people are flattered about your rooms. So we tried to keep the original authors' rooms in. We tried to keep the seeds to stay within a certain time frame. That's happened for the most part. It was good.
Yeah. And thank you to all of the staff at SpeedGaming to allow us to have the tournament broadcasted on their channels.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's been very, very helpful with that. So thank you for that too. But yeah, I guess that wraps it up for this tournament. I guess we'll see where things go in the new version and what features are in there.
Before we go, though, I just have a question for everyone in here. And I just want to ask, what beam is best beam?
Oh my gosh.
That's
Let's go down the list, starting with Alex.
Grapple beam.
One of our trackers. Alex, you there?
Oh,
you can
I'll answer for Alex.
Spazer.
There you go.
Inven?
Hands down, Spazer.
Best beam is to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women. Beam.
All right, Codan.
Kaze?
Can you get some points for the battle?
Long, because it was never in any other game.
It wasn't the original. It was just trash in the original.
You know what I mean.
Mine is any beam that is not wave beam.
Ooh.
Paragon, I believe, would
Paragon said grapple in chat, so yeah.
grapple. Yeah. MST.
Oh, that is clearly wave.
And finally,
One that doesn't exist in the game.
Maybe it'll be in the update. We'll see.
So plasma.
Correct.
wait, I thought it is in the game. It's the blue colored one, right? MST.
These are all.
No, that's grapple.
Oh,
Also, technically,
Reserve tank beam.
Like,
The murder
Okay, you know
beam.
what, I'm out now.
The one that crashes the game.
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean that is yeah.
right.
Well,
I'm gonna
Invent
hop out,
Kaze,
let
any
you guys
other?
close up.
Yep. Invent Kaze, any last words?
Probably.
No, just GG's again. Congrats to MST. Skyhawk, amazing play all tournament long. It's been a blast, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Thank y'all for letting me help in whatever little way I could.
Oh,
Same thing on my part. Thanks again for letting me be able to help. The tournament was an absolute blast. And let's look forward to the next and all of the testing that's going to be coming with it.
Yep.
Uh,
And thank you all for letting me commentate and do wonderful, wonderful things with words. I'd have to say that, well, Metroid to everyone. I know, horrible one to finish off on. But thank you to everyone watching. Thank you to Paragon and Alex Classics for tracking, being true heroes. Paragon has done amazing job throughout almost every match of this tournament, always being here tracking. Great job. And thank you to all of our viewers here who have watched any game. And please look forward to the next tournament and what we got going on for Metroid Planets coming up in the future. Give all of our runners a follow. Skyhawk, MST, I guess if you want Gordor sometimes, Amada, Meteor, just Epi, everyone's great. So with that, I'm Crows, and we'll see you next mission.